everybody. Welcome aboard. Dr. Glidden with you. Tonight, for insiders and their guests exclusively, a worldwide live chat health webinar for insiders and their guests. Don't know what that is? You don't know what you're missing? Check out my website, drglidden.com. Become an insider. It's a monthly or yearly subscription service to my online health recovery information. 100 plus hours of archived health webinars available immediately, plus 3 hours of live chat a week. And it's an international live chat. You can also join us for free live streaming right now. Just go to drglidden.com and or Facebook or YouTube. Facebook, my Facebook fan page, Dr. Glidden Fire Your MD. Now, 40 people watching the live stream. Cartagena is in the house. How about that? All the way down in South America. Cartagena, we have people from all over North America, all over, quite frankly, the world. This is a worldwide community of like-minded individuals. And for the next 2 hours, God willing and the creek don't rise, I will be your host. Dr. Peter Glidden. I'm a licensed naturopathic physician. I have 25 years of clinical experience helping people to recover their health with science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery. Now, yesterday, we pulled back the curtain on the relationship between Procter & Gamble and the American Heart Association. Letting people know that the science behind the myth that saturated fats from animals and butter was related in any way, shape, or form to heart disease. There's no scientific evidence that shows any relationship whatsoever between saturated fat consumption and the genesis of heart disease. But Procter & Gamble took a $1.7 million, gave a $1.7 million check to the American Heart Association so the American Heart Association could endorse Crisco. And, you know, it's not so funny because heart disease now is the second leading cause of death in the United States, the first leading cause of death being MD-directed medical therapeutics itself. So let me get this straight. MD-directed medical therapeutics are the leading cause of death in the United States. The American Heart Association took a bribe from Procter & Gamble in order to generate bad research, bad recommendations to every United States citizen, which led to hundreds of thousands of cases and deaths from heart disease because of fuzzy science. The MDs got that wrong. The MDs got the whole statin drug thing wrong. The MDs got the whole heartburn thing wrong. The MDs got the whole autoimmune disease thing wrong. What will they get wrong next? Well, you can wait and see what they've gotten wrong next or what they will get wrong next. Or you can abandon their misguided, outdated, old-fashioned, juvenile, dangerous, expensive therapeutics for chronic disease. And you can take your health into your own hands. Take your health into your own hands. I mean, let's think it through, okay? So, you know, information like this, that we talked about yesterday, is starting slowly but surely to trickle into the mainstream, right? So let's say that as the months and years go by, more and more people start to see through the veil of pharmaceutical centrist, monopolistic MD medical therapeutics all around the world, and they start to get a clue that the MDs really have nothing for them. The MDs really do, in fact, have nothing for them. What are they going to do? Are they going to go to naturopaths? But, you know, naturopathic medicine is only licensed and regulated in 17 states in the United States right now. So what if you live in one of the other 33 states that doesn't license or regulate naturopathic medicine? You're SOL. And, you know, that doesn't even go to mention anybody in Europe or anybody in South America or anybody in Canada. You don't have access to naturopathic medicine. You don't have access that's paid for by your medical insurance to anything alternative, quote unquote, and I hate that term. The only thing that I'm alternative to is bad medicine. So I guess, if bad medicine is the norm, then in fact I'd be proud to call myself an alternative medical doctor, because all mainstream medicine is horrible for chronic disease. And it is. But, once people start to wake up to the fact that pharmaceutical industry and the MDs have nothing for them when it comes to chronic disease, and that really the best thing they can do is fire their medical doctor, what are they going to do? Very few naturopathic physicians know what Dr. Wallach knows. I'm one that does. Very few chiropractic physicians know anything about medical nutrition, and an even smaller percentage of them know what Dr. Wallach knows, a very small percentage of them. So even once people start to understand that MDs are the wrong dog for the hunt, and it's only a matter of time until that happens, what are people going to do? Are they going to wait for more states to license and regulate naturopathic medicine? That's going to take 50 years. What about today? What are they going to do? People are going to have to search the internet to try to figure it out by themselves, and that hasn't worked so great, has it? I mean, you can go on the internet now and find all kinds of crazy theories about this, that, or the other thing. Where I come into play, where Youngevity comes into play, where Dr. Wallach comes into play, is the void, the great vacuum that is left by MD incompetence and holistic medical physician lack of clinical experience. Because, this radio program is not all about how great holistic medicine is and how bad MD medicine is. It's not that at all. It's pragmatic, reality-based. Let's pull the curtain back and just take an objective, pragmatic look at what the heck is going on here, all in every aspect. There are some things that holistic practitioners do that I think are crazy. There are some diagnostic techniques that holistic practitioners use that I think are crazy. There are a lot of holistic therapeutics that I think are crazy and misguided and just bad and wrong. I mean, they pale in comparison to the bad stuff that MDs bring to the table. You know how many people died from vitamins last year in the United States? Zero. 378,000. 738,000. Had a little dyslexia there. 738,000 died from MD-directed medical therapeutics. There's not even any comparison. But the point is that the information that Dr. Wallach has gleaned about the pathogenesis of disease and what to do when somebody is saddled with a chronic disease in order to support and promote the body's ability to fix itself is unrivaled by anybody. And there are only a handful of physicians in the entire world that have a clue about what Dr. Wallach is up to, have used Dr. Wallach's expertise, have leaned on Dr. Wallach's research and clinical experience, and actually have gotten clinical results. There's only a handful of us. This is why Youngevity is so important, because it's only a matter of time until people get until the truth comes out. I mean, yesterday, another piece of the iceberg is revealed. Procter & Gamble in bed with the American Heart Association, of all people. The American Heart Association, for goodness sakes. You know how good the American Heart Association is? Not very, because heart disease, right, if you take the MD piece of the pie, is the leading cause of death in the United States. Well, they're doing a really crack-up job, aren't they? They need to be fired, because their evidence is not science-based. Their evidence is money-based. And their evidence has nothing to do with scientific reality. It has everything to do with payola. I mean, you're welcome to your own opinion, but not your own set of facts. The leading cause of death after you take the MDs out of the equation is heart disease. Heart disease kills more people than cancer, right? It does. Heart disease kills more people than cancer. And why is this? I mean, aren't we supposed to have the best medicine in the world? I mean, isn't Harvard and, Tufts supposed to be pumping out the best MDs in the world? Well, they might be pumping out the best academicians in their particular field of study, but the field of study that they're excelling at is outdated, old-fashioned, archaic, and, quite frankly, wrong. These are the people that told you, 80 years ago to bleed yourselves to death. Let the bad humors out of the body, right? That's what you need. Oh, yeah, that's what you need. You need to let the bad humors out. Then you need to eat, oil. and margarine. Stay the heck away from butter and salt. Oh no, don't even look at salt. Salt's the Antichrist. And you got to take those statin drugs. You got to keep your cholesterol below 199. Well, while we've kept cholesterol below 199, Alzheimer's has risen from obscurity to become the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. And if you look at the genesis of Alzheimer's, it parallels almost exactly with about a 5-7 year interim from the administration of the first statin drugs, the delivery of the first statin drugs to the medical marketplace, and then the genesis of Alzheimer's. They parallel each other almost exactly. Because 95% of the part of your brain that's affected by Alzheimer's is made from cholesterol. How about that? So when you drive cholesterol into the ditch with statin drugs, Alzheimer's skyrockets, but heart disease remains unchanged because there ain't no relationship between cholesterol and heart disease. It's not cholesterol that's the problem. Cholesterol, your body needs cholesterol. Your body loves cholesterol. Your body is made from cholesterol, for goodness sakes. Cholesterol isn't the Antichrist. Inflammation is. Inflammation is the problem. But, you know, the MDs don't know and people are slowly starting to catch a clue. But then they're on their own because there are very few holistic healthcare licensed and regulated holistic medical practitioners in the world that can deliver effective formulations. Dr. Wallach is one of them. And Dr. Wallach, in his foresight and in his wisdom, understood that healing is easy. That people need boilerplate, foundation, medical nutrition, and that's what Youngevity brings to the table. Healing is easy, ladies and gentlemen. Surgery is complicated. You need to get on board with a health recovery protocol appropriate for your body weight that actually works. Of all the things I've seen in 25 years of clinical experience, the Youngevity stuff produces more consistent, reliable, remarkable, measurable results than anything I've ever seen. That's why I'm an advocate of it, and that's why you should take it. Proof of the pudding's in the eating. You don't know what you're missing. Give it a try. Going right to the phones when we come back. Ohio is up first. I'm Dr. Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. I have a lively chat session going on in the live video feed. Check it out. Facebook, Dr. Glidden, Fire Your MD Now, or my website, drglidden.com. Matthew from Ohio is up first. Let's see what he wants to know. Hey, Matt, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, thanks for being there, Dr. Glidden.
Hey, I'm happy to help. What's going on, man?
Bonanza. That was the Bonanza theme.
Yeah, I know. Remember that?
I get so much more out of that show nowadays than I did back when it was originally airing.
How about Michael Landon, right? Too bad he had to go, man. He was a good guy.
I know it. He sure was. So here's my question. It's just kind of a general question.
Yep.
And I got Dr. Wallach's opinion. I'm going to put them together in an MP3 file and send it to a couple friends who are falling for this thing about cancer and the milieu of your body-mind with the pH being, what is, they say cancer cells thrive in I don't remember if it's an alkaline or a more acidic environment. And
the idea, of course, is that, and so you want to know what's the real deal with that, right?
That's exactly what I'm asking.
All right. Well, all right, great. Well, you called the right person. Really, you didn't need to go any further than Dr. Wallach because Dr. Wallach, of course, was in charge of $25 million of federally funded research from 70 to 82, did 25,000 autopsies and did millions, 10 million, I think, histopathologies. I mean, a remarkable amount of old-fashioned boots-on-the-ground pragmatic research, and it wasn't funded by the pharmaceutical industry either, so there was no a priori direction, right? I mean, it was all just good research, and when you start to do that many autopsies and that many histopathologies, you get a clue. This is why Dr. Wallach's therapeutics are so effective, because he has more hands-on experience with pathophysiology than anybody on the planet. So here's the deal. There's a difference between a cancer cell in a petri dish in a lab and a cancer cell in the human body. if you are growing cancer cells in a petri dish in the lab, then the environment needs to be acidic. The environment needs to be acidic. If the environment is alkaline, the cancer has a tough time growing. It needs to grow in an acidic environment. And it's so then the extrapolation became, well, in order to make cancer cells go away, we need to make the environment of the body alkaline. And people just started, advocating the use of alkalinized water and an alkaline diet and this, that, and the other thing. And they completely missed, they completely overlooked a giant piece of human physiology, which is the simple fact that our bodies have a built-in buffering system. Your body has 6 buffering systems that it uses to maintain very tight control over the pH of the blood and the body. Very tight control over the pH of the blood and the body. So if the pH starts going a little bit towards the acidic end of the spectrum or too much towards the alkaline end of the spectrum, the buffering systems kick in and brings the pH of the blood back to exactly where it needs to be. So it is virtually impossible to make the environment of the human body too acidic. If the body becomes too acidic or too alkaline, you go into a coma. So you can't really do it. I mean, you can push the envelope a little bit, but you can't really do it. So the whole alkaline acid thing is kind of a non-starter. However, in order to ensure that the buffering systems of the body are working the way that nature intended them to, because remember, our entire supposition here is that the body knows how to fix itself, the body wants to fix itself, the body is trying to fix itself all of the time, right? But the body needs stuff in order to do that. So, in order for the lungs to work, the body needs essential fatty acids. In order for the bones to work, the body needs calcium and boron and phosphorus and selenium and zinc and minerals. Well, in order for the buffering systems of the body to work, you need minerals. Minerals are an inherently extremely important part of the buffering system. If you are minerally deficient, which everybody is, and you eat a diet that forces your blood towards the acidic end of the spectrum, as the buffering systems kick in, because there aren't any extra minerals, the body will rob minerals from the bones and the joints, leading to arthritis. So from our point of view, mineralization is of maximum importance here, because if the body is properly mineralized, regardless of your diet, your blood, it's going to be at a perfect pH, because the body can do that with the buffering systems, and it will attempt to do that all of the time. Always better to lean on the wisdom of the body. Thanks so much for the call, Matthew. Hope that answered your question. Stick around, folks. More to come. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Dr. Glidden in the house. We've got everybody in the chat room is going crazy. 65 people now in the live chat watching the live stream. Check it out. Facebook, Dr. Glidden, Fire Your MD Now, or just go to my website, drglidden.com. Benjamin, well, one thing I wanted to say to just kind of complete the stream of consciousness about the pH thing, okay? Remember, this is holistic medicine, which is the proper orientation to bring to bear on the human body, because the human body is not a reductionistic evolutionary accident bag of chemicals that the MDs argue that it is. The human body is a complex system of interrelated parts, which is informed with a divine intelligence. The body knows how to fix itself, wants to fix itself, is trying to fix itself all of the time, but it needs help. So, if your body is nutrified, your pH will be proper, regardless of what you eat. If your body is properly nutrified, your pH will be proper, regardless of what you eat. Now, you don't want to be eating the wrong crap all the time. You want to, our recommendation is eliminate. There are 10 foods we don't want anybody to look at, let alone eat. And if we do that and feed the body the 90 essential nutrients it needs, that we don't have to worry about the pH of the body, because the body will sort it out on its own, right? And also you want to avoid any alkalinized water with a meal, because the only thing that alkalinized water Well, one of the things that alkalinized water does is it neutralizes stomach acid, right? Acid and alkaline neutralize each other. So your stomach acid is supposed to be really super acidic. That's how it digests food. So if you wash down a meal with alkalinized water, you're not pulling any nutrients out of it, or very few, because the alkalinized water that you've just consumed has neutralized the acid in your stomach. And that's not a good idea. If you want to drink alkalinized water, drink it between meals, and then you are good to go. Benjamin from New York is up next. He's got trouble sleeping. Hey, Ben, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Oh, yeah, I have a problem with my phalmalic finger.
Hey, Ben, I'm having a real hard time hearing you, man. I think you have to change the receiver or something.
Yes, I have a problem with my mallet finger.
With what?
Mallet finger. Mallet.
I can't hear you, man. We have a really, really bad connection.
Okay, mallet finger.
You have a problem with your left finger?
No, a mallet finger. I have a mallet finger from using a computer.
Ben, I can't hear a word that you're saying. I'm sorry. That's the first time I think this has ever happened on this radio show. I just couldn't understand what the guy was saying. Call me back with a better connection, and maybe the people doing my soundboard can sort this question out for me. We're going to move on here to Tammy in North Carolina. Hey, Tammy, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Yes, Dr. Glenn, I'm so glad to talk to you.
Hey.
I have vitiligo, and I have listened to your webinar May 5th about vitiligo. At one time, I subscribed to this program online, and it said blueberries are bad for vitiligo because they have hydroquinone, or quinolone, and it destroys the pigment-making cell, something like that. Is that a bunch of bunk?
Well, if that were true, everybody that ate blueberries would have vitiligo, right?
Okay, I was hoping that was not true.
Well, I mean, we have to keep everything, I mean, you can say it's a dodge, but it's true that it's the sun that causes tornadoes, right? Because, the sun evaporates water, water makes clouds, clouds make tornadoes, so it's the sun that causes tornadoes. Well, kind of, sort of, but not really. It's kind of, sort of right, but not really. So there may be a chemical in the blueberry, a biochemical, a phytonutrient in a blueberry that interrupts a particular biochemical pathway that the body uses in order to make pigment. But there's a whole lot of other things going on there, and you would probably need to eat, like 10 pounds of blueberries a day in order to make that happen. I mean, so what we need to do here is, when we are attempting to understand the pathogenesis of anything, we need to lean on science, right? And that's why Wallach is so very important. Wallach's brain is so very important. The main nutrients that are needed by the human body to make pigment are copper and the amino acid tyrosine. You need to have both. You need to have copper and you need to have tyrosine.
Is that in the selenium, both of those?
No. The copper is, but I don't think there's enough of it. Now, I've met people in longevity who their hair came completely back, right? I mean, I met one guy who was gray, and now his hair is bright red. I mean, it looks like, bright red, like he just, stepped out of Scotland. I mean, and another guy, jet black hair, used to be white, and they did that with the longevity selenium that has the copper in it, plus the additional 90 essential nutrients, plus elimination of the 10 bad foods. I've also met a bunch of people, myself included, who have had somewhat okay results with the longevity selenium as far as getting color back into the hair. And I have to say that I haven't really been diligent at specifically attempting to get the color back in my hair. If I had, I would be doing the HGH Youth Complex every day, because the HGH Youth Complex has the amino acid tyrosine in it. Right. Okay,
so that's how I get it, the HGH complex.
Yeah, HGH Youth Complex. You want to be taking also the selenium at 1 bottle per 50 pounds per month. 1 bottle per 50 pounds per month. Not to exceed more than 4 bottles a month. Now, the general recommendation for selenium is 1 bottle per 100 pounds per month. But when we're specifically trying to address a copper deficiency here, then we would need to take more. And so that's why we would increase it. You might also want to go outside of longevity and do a colloidal copper supplement. My favorite is Meso Copper, MESO Copper. It's a colloidal copper supplement.
MES, say that again?
Yeah, MES like Sam O, Meso Copper. Get a bottle of, it's like colloidal silver, right, except it's colloidal copper.
Okay, so colloidal copper, yes. I want to get I've been doing the selenium 3 in the morning, 3 at night, and the rest of the program.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh about 109.
Yeah, well, then I would do 9. Do 9 selenium a day.
9 selenium a day.
Yeah, do 9. Yeah, and do it between meals. You might want to become an insider on my website if you're not already and access the webinar that I did on maximizing the absorption of supplements, right? Because selenium and copper are minerals. And once you've eliminated the 10 bad foods, that goes a long way towards helping everything be better absorbed into your body. But if you eat food that's high in phytates bind to minerals.
I'm with you.
All right, so you have to get away from the phytates. If you've done that,
I have. And matter of fact, I can't find a time to fit them in.
Isn't that something? I know. It's funny how that goes, right?
And,
right.
You know,
I mean, you're exactly right.
I used to think I was, the healthiest eater, but my diet consisted of nothing but phytates. Spinach,
it's crazy.
Rice, everything. But now that I'm trying to avoid it, 2 hours before or after my minerals, I can't fit them in.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you wake up one day and you think to yourself, holy smokes, I mean, what was my big problem giving up spinach? I mean, really, it's kind of a no-brainer right now, right? And it's no harm and no foul. It's funny how the mind works like that. Isn't that funny? Things that seem like insurmountable in retrospect, it's like, geez, what was my problem with that? I mean, I can't believe it took me so long to stop eating that stuff, right?
Right. I was eating it because I thought it was healthy. I was eating all these things because I thought they were so healthy.
I'm going to give you a little teaser here. I'm developing a product, a topical that you can use to helps bring back the color in your hair, and it's not a dye. So stay tuned. I hope to be rolling this out by the end of the year. So stay tuned. But in the meantime. Internally, colloidal copper and tyrosine, which you can get from HGH Youth Complex. Check it out.
Okay, got one more question.
Shoot.
Okay, I still seem to be very tired, even though I've been on the program.
How long have you been on the program?
Almost 3 months.
Okay, so as an experiment, for 7 days in a row, double the amount of Beyond Tangy Tangerine that you're taking. Double it.
Okay, well, I love it. So
now, the best way to do that, right, is to, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either, figure out how many scoops are you taking right now a day? 2?
2.
All right. So here's what you can do. You can put 2 scoops into 20 ounces of water twice. So you get 2 bottles, at least 20 ounces of water. You can use more water if you want. I don't care. It's got to be a minimum of 20 ounces. Put 2 scoops into each bottle. So now you got 4 scoops. And just drink from those 2 bottles all day long, right?
Okay. All right.
Just make sure they're gone, by sunset, and you're good to go.
There's one other factor. Drinking the tangy tangerine is not a problem. But, okay, how do I have had thyroid condition all my life been on thyroid since I was 12.
All right. Well, the short answer is you have to see a chiropractor and make sure that the curve of your neck is correct, because if the curve of your neck isn't correct, your thyroid's going to be funky. You have to eliminate cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, right? Because that stuff decreases thyroid function.
Done that. And I didn't know if it was a blood sugar problem because I crave.
Well, it's easy to figure out. So go to directlabs.com, Direct Labs, plural, lab with an S, directlabs.com. You can order your own blood work. You can completely bypass the MDs. I love it. Order a hemoglobin A1C test. Hemoglobin A1C.
I did have that done a couple years ago, and I've really watched my sugars since then. But yes, I was borderline.
Well, was it high or was it normal a couple of years ago?
It was high.
Well, so you've got a blood sugar issue. So then what you should add into the bargain would be the sweeties. So you shouldn't be doing the Healthy Start pack. You should be doing the Healthy Blood Sugar pack every month.
Okay, well, I did order sweeties. I'm not sure how to take it. Do I take one with
No. Nobody really knows how to take the sweeties. We're kind of swinging in the dark with that one. But a good ballpark place to start with the sweeties is one bottle per 100 pounds per month. Now, I think there's 120 caps in one bottle. Correct. So you would take 120, divide it by 30 days in the month. That's 4 a day, right?
Okay.
So take 2 capsules twice a day.
Was that with meals, between meals?
So that would, well, if you're avoiding the phytates, then you can take it with a meal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Take it
but
with a meal,
and also, but really, the clinical hallmarks of blood sugar problems is you get sleepy after a carbohydrate load, like you'll get sleepy after you have something that's got a lot of sugar in it. Or you wake up in the middle of the night and you're wide awake. Just having kind of funky energy levels all day long doesn't necessarily speak to me about an initial blood sugar thing. It speaks to me about a chronic lack of nutrients. And, you know, you've had a chronic lack of nutrients your entire life. That ain't going to go away in just 2 months. But so that's why I think it might be more prudent for you now to double the amount of Beyond Tangy Tangerine just as an experiment for 7 days. And see if that doesn't cut the mustard. Check it out, Tammy. Appreciate the phone call. Stick around, folks. More to come. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing out the first hour. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. Utah is up next with Dennis. Hey, Dennis, thanks for the phone call. You are live. Come in, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Dennis, are you there? Maybe not. Let's
I'm here.
Go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Okay, yeah. Hey, thanks for the phone call. I almost cut you off there. What's going on?
Oh, sorry, my phone. Smartphones are smarter than I am sometimes.
I know, right? I know.
It's Denise, by the way, but that's okay. Everybody makes that mistake.
Okay, hey, Denise, even better. Where women tend to be smarter than men anyway, so welcome aboard.
Okay, well, my husband might disagree with that statement, but we won't worry about that. I'm new to these products from Youngevity. I was taking another product or another protocol to help me with recent diagnosis of diabetes 2.
Oh, yeah.
I was able to drop my A1C from 6.8 to 5.9
Great.
in a couple of months, but they had gluten in them, so I had to stop.
Yeah.
I have Hashimoto's, so I have to be very careful about all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was told to take the Classic and the Selenium, the Ultimate EPA, and the Sweeties. And I just want to make sure, I don't see anything happening with my blood sugar. It's not going up, but it's not coming down any, and it's been about a month now. So I just want to make sure I was taking the right stuff.
Yeah, smart. I mean, smart. See, you are the smartest person in Utah, right? Yeah, so there we go. So I'm right again. So here's the deal. With medical nutrition, we need to do 3 things. Number 1, we need to stop eating food that's disallowing the nutrients from being absorbed into the bloodstream, right? So we've identified 10 foods that you need to stop eating, and gluten represent 4 of those 10 bad foods. So I would encourage you to go to my website, drglidden.com, scroll down the front page and get a list for free of the rest of the 10 bad foods, okay? So you need to stop eating them. Number 2, you also need to identify foods that are high in phytates, P-H-Y-T like Thomas, A-T-E-S phytates, because phytates bind to minerals, and minerals are the backbone of your body's sugar metabolization engine. So we need to give you minerals like chromium and vanadium and a bunch of other trace minerals. Mm-hmm. And if you're swallowing any mineral supplement from any company on top of a meal that has phytates in it, you're maybe only going to be able to absorb 20 or 30% of it. And so you need to be mindful of eliminating phytates as well within a couple of hours before or after you've taken a mineral supplement. Okay? So once you've got those two things down, then the next thing to do is to dial in a blood sugar support program appropriate for your body weight. And then the last thing would be, in addition to that, giving your body the rest of the nutrients that it needs to function properly, because everything's connected, right? So let's say that somebody did research and they found out that you needed chromium in order to have optimal blood sugar levels. Well, wait a minute. That research has in fact been done. That was done in 1958, and it was proven that chromium deficiencies generate type 2 diabetes. Chromium is an essential nutrient for your body, but there are also 89 other essential nutrients. Now, if you just took chromium into your body, you would get some kick for your blood sugar, but if you took chromium plus all 89 other nutrients, right, because everything's connected, you would get a much better response. And this is our whole deal here, that you need to get a holistic blood support program rather than a fractionated nutrition blood support program, right? So what's your current body weight?
215.
215? Okay, so here's what I would do. I would do 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month. And 4 bottles of selenium a month. Now, if that's too much for the budget, then just do the 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month should be sufficient to the cause here, and that's a step up from what you're already doing, right? So remember.
Yeah, but right now, I just got a 2-month supply for Classic and the selenium and all of that. So I don't have the minerals. Do I need to be doing the minerals?
No, the minerals are in there. The minerals are in there. The minerals are part of the Classic. So you just want to make sure, you know what, we're right up against the hour. If you can stick around with me through the next 6 minutes, and I'll pick you up at the beginning of the second segment, and I'll dial this right in for you. Appreciate your call, Denise. Hold the phone. We'll be back as soon as I can. Check out the live video stream, folks, drglidden.com. See you shortly. That's right, baby. The knockout punch. Sounds good to me. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to the second hour of today's program, where we pull back the curtain on all things medical and to tell you the pros and cons of what's really going on, with a dramatic emphasis on science-based, clinically verified, holistic medical therapeutics that you have never even heard of before and desperately need to. We're suffering needlessly all around the world simply for lack of information, right? We cleaned up the water supply, figured out how to develop adequate sewage, figured out how to control food production more or less, and by doing those 3 simple things, doubled human lifespan. Well, our position is, if you, in addition to doing those 3 things, eliminate foods that are hurting the body and nutrify the body appropriately every day with the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for body weight, you will go a long way towards getting your health back. You have no idea of your body's ability to fix itself. And if you hang out with us long enough, you will see testimonials that will bring you to tears and then fill you with righteous indignation. Because honestly, when you drill it right down to the nitty-gritty, you have been played by the pharmaceutical industry. Your health has been compromised by money. You know, there's nothing wrong with making money, but there is a problem with making money on the backs of human suffering. It's a big bad voodoo daddy, and we need to put an end to it right now. Denise from Utah wants to finish up a blood sugar conversation. All right, Denise, so you got the Ultimate Classic Pack. Do you have 1 or 2 of those?
I have 4. I take 2 a month, 2 bottles a month.
Okay, all right, so tell me how you do that. Or tell me how you take each dose.
I've been taking 1 ounce in the morning and 1 ounce at night.
Of the
dinner.
Ultimate Classic?
With meals.
Of the Ultimate Classic.
Yeah.
Okay, you shake that up and you just take a shot, or do you dilute it with water, or what do you do?
I take a shot and chase it with something better.
Yeah, okay, so you just take everything right down. Now, since you've been doing that, has that given you constipation, gas, or diarrhea?
I have gotten diarrhea, yes.
Okay, so then what would be a better strategy is to mix the Ultimate Classic with something liquid. You're diabetic, so I wouldn't recommend doing it with fruit juice, right? So water probably is your only option. Or some type of liquid that's been sweetened with a non-glycemic index sweetener like stevia or xylitol, right? I don't know if you can find one of those.
I used to have, yeah.
All right, so I'd put it in some water, and instead of slugging it right down, I drink it slowly over the course of 30 minutes each time you did it.
Okay.
All right. Now, how many EFAs are you taking? EFAs are part of this program as well. You should be doing about, in a perfect world, I'd see you doing 12 EFAs a day. How many are you doing now?
Oh, no, I was only doing 3.
You're doing 3. Yeah. So EFAs are essential to blood sugar metabolism, right? So, and at 215 pounds, a good start for you would be a minimum of 6 a day. 12 would be better for the first month, but whatever floats your boat, you want to at least be doing 6 of those a day, and those you can do with meals, okay, with meals. All right, what about the sweeties? How much of the sweeties are you taking?
I'm taking 9 of those a day.
Okay, so how many are in a bottle? Are 120 sweeties in a bottle? Do you know off the top of your head, or is it 90?
I thought it was only 90, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might be 90. I can't remember either. So, and you're doing 9 a day, so you have 3. You go through 3 bottles in 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's a good place to start. 9 a day of those is good. You just need to increase the EFAs. And are you doing selenium as well?
I am. I was only doing 5, but I've gotten enough, so I was going to do at least 6, if not 9.
9 would be better for you. 9 would be better. And if you take that with the sweeties, you'll get more bang for your buck there. So just increase the selenium to 9. Raise the EFAs either to 6 or to 12. 12 would be optimum for a month or 2. And that should do the trick. And also, right, medical nutrition, no matter which way you slice it, needs to be painless, right? If we're doing an essential medical nutrition intervention, then there should be 0 side effects. No constipation, no gas, no diarrhea, no heartburn, no nightmares. You don't grow an 11th finger, right? Nothing bad should happen. And when things bad do happen with longevity stuff, 99% of the time you're taking too concentrated a dose too quickly. So, you need to give your body a little bit of you need to pour that stuff in a little more slowly and give your body time.
I'm good with that because it's not very good anyhow.
I know, right? And I don't know why you started with that. I think you got bad advice there. But there is, you might want to call the company because there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So
okay.
you could ostensibly send the Ultimate Classic back and trade it out for Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, which would be a better thing for you to do.
Okay, and that is. What's the difference between the two?
Oh my God, is a gigantic difference. See, the Ultimate Classic, the Ultimate Classic was the first iteration of Youngevity's medical nutrition. And that was the stuff that Dr. Wallach rolled out 17 years ago. And, it's called the practice of medicine for a reason, right? Because we gain in knowledge and technology gets better and we change and make things better. So the next generation of that supplement was called Beyond Tangy Tangerine. And then the next generation of that supplement is Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. So the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the tip of the spear of Youngevity's medical nutrition interventions. And so in a perfect world, at 215 pounds, every month you would be doing 2 healthy blood sugar pack 2.0s, healthy blood sugar pack 2.0s. And if you go into the Youngevity website, you can just pull that product up and look at it and compare it to the Ultimate Classic. But I'm telling you, it tastes good. It actually tastes good. The Ultimate Classic tastes like, I don't know what. It tastes like, ground up worms that have been inside a garden hose for 2 weeks. I mean, it's horrible tasting stuff, right? It is. Let's be honest,
it is
right?
really bad, yeah.
I know. So, I mean, you get the gold star, girl, for drinking that stuff. And you know what's funny? It's kind of like, that old saying, one man's ceiling is another woman's floor, right? I'm around thousands of longevity people a year, and every once in a while someone will come up to me and they love it. I mean, they love the Ultimate Classic. They actually love the way that it tastes. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you must have an alien implant or something. I don't know what's going on with those people. But
it's pretty bad stuff.
Yeah, I would switch it out if I were you.
Okay.
But in the meantime, mix it with something to make it more palatable and drink it a little bit more slowly, okay?
Okay, so that 30 minutes is before a meal or just like right before the meal?
Doesn't matter. As long as the meal does not contain phytates.
Okay.
Okay? And that's easy.
Thank you so much.
You can figure that out. Well, hey, Denise, you can thank me after it works. I appreciate your trust, though, and I appreciate the phone call. But more importantly, I appreciate your open mind. Number one, to be able to understand that in this case, the MDs had nothing for you. And then being smart enough and brave enough to try to figure it out for yourself. You actually took your health into your own hands. And that's a gigantic step in the right direction. I mean, that's a gigantic step in the right direction. If everybody did that, if everybody had the same mindset that you have, everything would change in this country, and it would happen in less than a year. So keep up the good work. Call me every month or so and give me a report, because I'd really like to see this dialed in for you. I appreciate it very much. Thanks so much. Brett from California is up next, I think, with a question about narcolepsy. This is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. Hey, Brett, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, how you doing today?
Great. Narcolepsy, man. Who's got it? Is it you or is it somebody else?
No, it's a friend of mine. Her name is Jackie. I tried to have her on conference. I think we lost her.
No,
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm here.
Hey, Jackie.
Dr. Wall.
Jackie, narcolepsy, what a horrible illness, man. So you just fall asleep at the drop of a hat? Is that what happens?
Yeah, I don't sleep deeply at night, so my body takes sleep where it can.
Yeah, so I mean, have you ever just fallen asleep driving the car or walking down the street, or how does it happen for you?
I can tell when I'm about to fall asleep, so if I'm driving, I'll pull over, and I know when I'm going to get sleepy, so I don't take unnecessary risks.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's a horrible illness. I mean, because you kind of feel like you're just dragging through life, and it's ironic, right? Because you're so flippin' sleepy all day long, and then at nighttime, you're not. It's nuts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. How long has it been like this?
I was 28 when I developed it.
Well, how old are you now?
46.
Yeah, so you've been dealing. All right, so ladies and gentlemen in the listening audience, Jackie has been dealing with a chronic, debilitating illness for 18 years. And the MDs have had nothing for you, right?
Well, they did recommend stimulants, which are taxing for me. I know, but they've also given me a great sleep medicine, which has given me some of my power back, and I love it. And
is it Lunesta?
I want to be the person. No, it's Xyrem.
Oh yeah, okay. So all right. So understand, right? From our point of view, I mean, I don't know how much exposure you've had with us, but it's not the drug, it's how it's used. We don't have a problem with drugs. I can prescribe drugs. 6 or 7 states in the U.S., I can prescribe drugs. It's not the drug, it's how it's used. It's not the gun, it's how it's used. So, but in this case, when the MDs are prescribing this drug, the intention of this drug is not to fix the problem. The intention of this drug is to force you into a state of sleep. Right? It's a hypnotic drug. It's kind of like...
And Doctor, I would love to not take it. It gives me my life, but what I want is to be the person I was born to be, and that's why I'm here. I'd love to let go of this stuff, so I just want to fix the underlying problem.
Great. Well, you've come to exactly the right place. No kidding, this is one of my favorite subjects to talk about, because when we fix this for people, it is so unbelievably dramatic, man. It's awesome. Stick around with me, could you please? We've got a hard break coming up. I'll pick you right up on the other side of the commercials and dial it in for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD now. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. We are talking to a woman from California with narcolepsy. And forgive me, I forget the first name. Remind me.
Jackie.
Jackie. Okay, Jackie. So how much do you weigh?
150, 155. I'm 5'11".
Okay. So from our point of view, narcolepsy is caused by a blood sugar metabolism problem. And, the same way that when the gastrointestinal tract gets inflamed, there are varying stages of it, right? You can get heartburn, you can get esophageal reflux, you can get GERD, you can get irritable bowel, you can get colitis, you can get Crohn's disease, you can get inflammatory bowel disease, and they're all more or less the same thing, just worsening and worsening and worsening iterations of it. Well, it's the same with blood sugar. Depending on how bad your body's metabolism of blood sugar is, there are a number of different illnesses that the professional medical community has described, which kind of are indications of how far down the bad blood sugar road we've gone, right? So there's metabolic syndrome, there's syndrome X, there's pre-type 2 diabetes, there's narcolepsy, there's frank type 2 diabetes, and so forth and so on. Now, from our point of view, it doesn't really matter what you call it. All that we really have to do is understand the pathogenesis of it and what to do to support and promote your body's ability to get on the other side of it. So, you need blood sugar support. And it's, interesting, right? But blood sugar, in order for your body or my body or anybody's body to properly metabolize blood sugar, there are 90 essential nutrients that it needs. But the 90 essential nutrients that it needs to metabolize blood sugar are not present in the food. They're just not. So it's only a matter of time until your body or my body or anybody else's body runs out of certain nutrients. And when they run out of certain nutrients, then something breaks. So in your case, it's a blood sugar metabolism issue. That's kind of the weak spot in your, in your body's makeup. Everybody has weaknesses. Some people it's their blood sugar, some people it's their heart, some people it's their bones and joints, right? Everybody's kind of got built-in weaknesses that they have in fact inherited. So you need blood sugar support. And it's a relatively easy thing to do. So and this is a two-pronged strategy. So number one, we need to provide your body with the raw materials that it needs to properly metabolize blood sugar. And number two, you need to stop eating food that's hurting your body's ability to absorb nutrients. So we've identified 10 foods that everybody needs to avoid, whether they're in perfect health or not. And perfect health is a misnomer. There's nobody that's in perfect health unless they've been brought up inside a female reproductive tract that's been gluten-free and has been completely nutrified for all 9 months. And then they continue that discipline throughout their life. So you can get the list of 10 bad foods for free on my website.
I'm looking at it.
Okay, so you need to stop eating those foods immediately. Also, I would walk very softly for the next 9 months around any other foods that are high in sugar. So fruit juice, fruit leather, concentrated fruit, honey, maple syrup, molasses, agave. I would just use those. I pretty
much don't eat those things.
Okay, great. So you need to continue to do that because,
what I'm curious about is,
yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I eat a salad every day, and I make it with olive oil. Is that right? I really should not be having olive oil?
Yeah, isn't that funny? And I did a whole webinar about that, and the guy that invited you here can give you a link to the webinar that I did on oil. You can also listen to yesterday's radio program because I talked at length about in the first hour about the relationship between oil and health. And this is one of the biggest myths that's been populated in popular culture here is the notion that whole grains are healthy. They're not. And also that olive oil is a really great thing for you. It's not. And I go into detail.
How about coconut oil?
No, it's not good either. So our recommendation is complete abstinence from all oils. I know. It sounds crazy, but it only sounds crazy because that myth has embedded itself into popular culture. I mean, like years ago when everybody was okay with slavery, right? Because they thought that blacks didn't have souls. Well, they were wrong. Well, it's the same deal. So, long story short, my recommendation to you, every month, 2 healthy blood sugar packs, 4 bottles of selenium. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. 2 healthy blood sugar packs, 4 bottles of selenium every month. The guy that brought you here will tell you how to take it. Call me back on week 3 with a report. I'm looking forward to it. Stick around, folks. More to come. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Boy, we are going crazy in the chat room, the live video feed. We've got lots and lots of questions. You know why? Because everybody is sick and suffering. Why is everybody sick and suffering? Because the only medicine that people have access to is MD-directed medicine, and MD-directed medicine only works for trauma, surgery when it's necessary, and a handful of infectious diseases. Thank God for the sterile technique. Thank God for Novocaine. Thank God for anesthesia. Thank God for morphine. Thank God for a handful of antibiotics, but that is it. You think everybody in this country is healthy, you have your flippin' head in the sand. Everybody's got like 6 different chronic diseases they've had for 10 years, and the MDs have let them down. They've let them down hard. Now, we had to finish up a little too quickly with Jackie with the blood sugar thing, but here's the deal. Right, what we recommend is foundation medical nutrition, boilerplate medical nutrition, and, you know, it's not hard. So in her case, because this is a blood sugar issue, ostensibly it's a blood sugar issue, that's what we believe. The recommendation is support and promote the structure and function of your body's ability to metabolize blood appropriately. Well, how do we do that? We give the body the nutrients it needs to have healthy blood sugar. It's that simple. This isn't complicated. So the recommendation for her, 1 healthy blood sugar pack and 2 selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month, since she's, I think, 215 pounds. Then the recommendation is 2 healthy blood sugar packs and 4 bottles of selenium per month. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Bada bing, bada boom. Garrick, maybe we got that name wrong. Garrick, maybe somebody from Montana or Missouri. Hey, Missouri, welcome aboard. You are live.
Yes. I'm calling about a gastritis issue I've had for 10 months.
Yep.
And it happened right after I drank a buttload of alcohol.
Okay, how much is a buttload?
Let's say a 5-gallon carboy over a period of 4 days.
Yeah, okay. What kind of alcohol was it? What was it? Vodka?
I made it.
Oh, you made it. Okay, even better. Okay, so what happened?
Well, after that, I came home from work, and I started developing heart palpitations, and those have since gone, but I'm stuck with this severe gastritis, and they did an endoscopy on it and found bile reflux. And the doctor said that's what's causing it, and it's been with me for 10 months now. I've had joint pain, muscle pain, just all kinds of different symptoms that I'm now learning to be malnutrition.
Yeah, I know everything's malnutrition. I mean, when you dial it right down, I mean, it is. I mean, Linus Pauling, right, won the Nobel Prize twice. So one of his most famous quotes, you can trace every chronic disease back to a mineral deficiency. So we are not far afield when we say that it's malnutrition, and it's not specifically, you know, that you're in Biafra and not eating enough calories a day. It's even if you're eating 3 square meals a day, the food that you're eating doesn't have the stuff your body needs. And then if you stress the body out extracurricularly, either with exercise or drinking a buttload of alcohol or whatever, something's going to break, right? And so now we're playing catch up and fix up. And, you know, it's interesting. Alcohol, of course, is viewed by the body as a toxin, and the body attempts to deconstruct alcohol when it finds its place inside the body. But in order to deconstruct alcohol and detoxify it, the body needs nutrients to do that. Now, you don't have enough nutrients to do that in your food. So it's only a matter of time if you do too much alcohol for whatever reason, that the body is not going to be able to detoxify all of it. So you're going to have now a toxin floating through your bloodstream, damaging whatever it damages, and then the body attempts to fix what was damaged. But guess what the body needs to fix what was damaged? Raw materials, which it doesn't have. So, you need comprehensive, holistic medical nutrition support with extra emphasis here on the gallbladder and digestive tract, right? So, yeah.
Does calcium have anything to do with the gastritis?
Yes, calcium does have a lot to do with the gastritis, but calcium, given your history, right, calcium would be a major player, but in order to get the calcium to be uptaken by the body and to work most efficiently and effectively in the body, it has to be in a particular form, it has to be in a particular concentration, and you need all the cofactors present that the body uses to absorb calcium. So, and this really underlines our fundamental position here, which is the correct position, which we're the only ones talking about this in the whole flipping world, man.
That's true.
It's true. There's two ways to give the body nutrients. You can give the body fractionated nutrition, where you give boatloads of calcium or boatloads of vitamin D or boatloads of vitamin C, like Charlie, right? Which is what most nutritionists do. That's what Linus Pauling did. Intravenous vitamin C for that guy, for goodness sake. Or you can give holistic medical nutrition. Holistic medical nutrition is a superior way. It's a more sophisticated way. It's a more clinically effective way. So, yeah, man, you need calcium, but you need a lot more than that in order to bring it all home. What's your current body weight?
180.
All right.
I've got a few other things that are going on too that I had questions about, like the thyroid.
Yeah.
I've developed really like a cold sensitivity, and I've got flat veins that I've never had before that are painful in my arm.
That's interesting. All right, so great. So, well, I mean, no, I'm not great that you've got these things, but it really helps me to understand it, right? So, with stuff like this,
humor over 10 months.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. Otherwise, what's the alternative, right? So what we do here with a lot of problems that have, shown up quickly like this, and we can trace them back to a presumptive cause anyway, is they're all categorized as nutrient deficiencies. And so you're in exactly the right place, because what you need, and desperately so, is foundation, fundamental, holistic nutrition given in, the appropriate manner. So I am of the opinion that once you just give your body the 90 essential nutrients with a little extra digestive support, all of the things that you're bothered by are going to melt away slowly into the night, like watching ice melt in the springtime. I don't think you're going to need anything extra here to do. I think just this one comprehensive holistic program is going to carry the day for you. So here it is. Number one, you got to eliminate the 10 bad foods. And if you can't do that, then don't waste your money on these supplements, because they're not going to work.
I've pretty much done that.
Okay, great. So then the next step at your body weight would be, let me think this through. 2 healthy digestion packs per month, 2 healthy digestion packs per month, and 4 bottles of selenium a month. 4 selenium and 2 healthy digestion packs a month. That's it. Eliminate the 10 bad foods, and make sure you drink a minimum, in addition to your nutritional supplements, a minimum of 32 ounces of water extra a day, okay? You need to hydrate your body here, but more importantly than that, you need to nutrify it. And now the digestive enzyme that's part of the healthy digestion pack is super supportive for the gallbladder. I mean, it is super supportive for the gallbladder and also for the liver. Selenium also super supportive for the liver. And then, the whole thing gets rounded out with the calcium and the other 90 essential nutrients that are involved here. So eliminate the 10 foods, 2 healthy digestion packs, 4 bottles of selenium a month, And once you dial that in, man, you should start to see slow and steady improvement every couple of weeks. Do me a favor, why don't you call me back and give me a heads up on that every couple of weeks? Because this would be a really cool thing to track in real time on live radio. So call me back, man, and give me updates, and I'll look forward to that.
Alrighty. I was going to ask you another question. Would it be smart to take an extra calcium with that? I had one of the Longevity Associates say that take more calcium.
It never hurts. Now, it never hurts to do.
It'll hurt the budget, I'm saying.
Then you don't need it. Judd, you don't need it. Just do 2 healthy digestion packs for selenium. That's all that you need. No kidding. I want you to take one of the doses of calcium, however, immediately before bed. And make sure that the healthy pack that you get has the liquid calcium in it, not the powdered calcium. Make sure it has the liquid calcium in it, not the powdered calcium. And the guy or the longevity distributor that, hooked you up with this radio show will be able to tell you how to do that, okay?
So what's the difference between the two?
Absorbability, where I'm getting feedback from the field that for a certain percentage of people, not everybody, a certain percentage of people have a hard time absorbing the powdered calcium. And there are some people that love it, and they get great results with the calcium. But whenever somebody comes to me on, this radio show, when we're doing like generic stuff for the masses, just in order to hedge my bet, I'm going to recommend everybody start with the liquid calcium. And then once they've gotten traction from that and they're getting improvement, if they want, downstream, they can switch to the powdered calcium and see if they get similar results. But I need to stack the deck on your behalf here, and the only way that I can do that is by making sure you start with the liquid calcium. Your body might be fine with the powdered calcium, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, and hence the recommendation.
I had a chiropractor tell me I was intolerant to eggs and coconut and a couple of things like tomatoes.
Yeah, all right. So that's kind of, I don't know how he made that diagnosis. Was that with kinesiology?
We did a 96 blood test or whatever.
Oh, you did? All right. So then you want to, in addition to eliminating the 10 bad foods, you want to eliminate the foods that you tested 3+ for on that test.
Okay, yeah, eggs and coconut and tomatoes was really high.
Yeah, so no eggs, no coconuts, and tomatoes for a minimum of 6 months.
Which really disappointed me because I love eggs.
Well, you can have quail eggs, you can have duck eggs, you can have goose eggs, because you're only allergic to chicken eggs. And that's an interesting distinction. So go to the Chinatown market, get some quail eggs, get some duck eggs, get some goose eggs. You can have eggs, just as long as it's not a chicken egg. And I think I just blew your mind a little bit there, but that's my intention.
Yes, you did.
All right, I got to move on, man. I appreciate the phone call. Thank you very much. That's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. Got a little bit of time left here in this segment. Let's fly on out to Los Angeles and talk to Chelsea. Hey, Chelsea, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Sutton. I'm on the Healthy Start Pack, and the doctor said I had forgot. But anyway, it's hot flashes and mood swings.
Oh yeah, so that's what premenopause, perimenopausal symptoms. Yeah.
Yeah, that, and it's not good.
Yeah, I know it's not good. It's horrible, right? So I'm going to tell you what to do to support your hormones, man. This is easy. Okay. You're going to love me. I tell you what, because that's just a horrible thing to deal with every day. No kidding.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, all right? 1 healthy brain and heart pack and 1 bottle of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 healthy brain and heart pack and 1 selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 extra bottle of Woman's Hormone Balancer. 1 bottle of Woman's Hormone Balancer per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and, believe it or not, a diet high. Hope you're learning something today, ladies and gentlemen. I learn something every day here, just from the feedback that I get from people. Let's finish it up. I think we left, California left us. California, if you're still listening, the last thing you need to do in order to support healthy hormone levels, regardless of your age, is eat a diet that's high in cholesterol. Because guess what? All of your sex hormones are made from cholesterol. That's what they are made from. So lots of eggs, lots of cheese, full-fat yogurt, full-fat milk, butter. Make sure you salt your food. Remember, fat does not make people fat. Calories make people fat. Fat does not make people fat. Calories make people fat. You're going to love how you feel. The Woman's Hormone Balancer is an awesome product, especially when it's taken on top of the 90 essential nutrients. Hey, Benjamin from New York is back. Let's see if we have a better connection. Hey, what's going on, Ben?
Yeah, I got a problem with my foot, with my toe. I got fungus on my toe. I have 4 questions, though.
Good shoot.
Yeah, first of all, I got fungus on my toe. What's the cause of that?
Too much sugar in the blood. It's faulty blood sugar metabolism is the main cause of chronic fungal infections in the foot. So you need to eliminate the 10 bad foods, and you need to support and promote your body's ability to metabolize blood sugar. We do that with 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month.
Blood sugar pack.
Yeah, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. Yep.
Okay. What about my leg and the finger? Like I use the computers a lot, I work with the computers. Then suddenly my pinky finger got, bent, So I went to the doctor. Then he kind of, straightened it up a little bit, but still, I still have pain in it still.
Yeah, that's because of a calcium and a magnesium deficiency. The ligaments and the tendons are starting to get funky because your body doesn't have the stuff it needs to relax the joints appropriately. So I would do, if I were you, to support your body, 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and then 1 extra bottle of Cal Toddy, 1 bottle of Cal Toddy a month on top of that to help.
Cal Toddy?
Yeah, Cal like calcium, C-A-L. T like Thomas, O, D like David, D like David, Y, Cal Toddy a month.
Okay.
Yep.
What about the lack of sleep? My mother can't sleep at night properly.
Hard to fall asleep or hard to stay asleep?
She sleeps a little bit,
Hard to fall asleep or hard to stay asleep?
Hard to fall asleep.
That's not enough calcium, so she needs the Healthy Start Pack and 1 extra bottle of calcium, and if she takes 1 ounce of the calcium in a little bit of water or a little bit of orange juice immediately before bed, she'll sleep like a freaking baby.
Oh, one ounce of orange juice and 1 calcium?
Yeah, 1 ounce of calcium. Not a whole, about an ounce to an ounce, or she can use water. But you need 1 ounce of calcium immediately before bed, the liquid calcium, and she'll sleep like a baby.
Okay, and 1 ounce of orange juice, right?
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
What about pain in the foot? She has a pain in her kneecap.
Well, it's probably, a lot of things can cause that, right? But that's a bone. So when we think about that, we think about bone and joint support. And when we think about that, we think about extra calcium too. So in order to help anybody to have healthy bones and joints, the recommendation is 1 healthy bone and joint pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. That's going to have the calcium in it that she needs. You can get an extra bottle of calcium a month. That's what I would do. So I'd give her 1 healthy bone and joint pack and 1 bottle of Cal Toddy a month, plus, of course, eliminate the 10 bad foods.
Yeah, Dr. Brady, when can you listen to this program back again, the recorded program? Tomorrow?
No, I'm not. That's a great question. You would think that I would know the answer to that. I'm pretty sure that the archives are available immediately after the show. But if they're not available immediately after the show, it's certainly within 24 hours. I should know the answer to that off the top of my head, but I don't. I'm sorry.
Or just to listen to the recorded for today's question and answers, right?
Yeah, you can. I believe at gcnlive.com you can access it immediately. And then we have the edited show notes a day later on drglidden.com. I appreciate you, Benjamin. I got to go. Keep up the good work, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish I had more time, but, time is a stream. I just go fishing in it. I am Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for turning on. Check Youngevity out. You don't know what you're missing. Next live event tonight for insiders only, 8 o'clock Central Time. Check it out on my website, drglidden.com. God willing and the creek don't rise. See you then. See you tomorrow. Until then, live long and prosper.